Game will start in offline mode. Wow, woo, wee, wowie. It's a Dark Souls. Uh, I mentioned several times this is one of my favorite games of all time. If you don't know much about Dark Souls, this is basically useless. It's just your starting stats. Knight has pretty good stats all around, but he's heavy. Warrior has a bit more strength and dexterity. I always go Warrior. It is just the best class. If you don't know this is Dark Souls, this game is considered very difficult. I guess I should detail stuff. I shouldn't just jump into it like people know anything about this game. Name. Name? Oh yeah, I forgot. I have my controls mapped so B functions like A. Because it's just, that's where I've played Dark Souls like 80 some odd times. I'm used to the Xbox version. So I have to have the A button be at the bottom. Like the pickup button. No, my name doesn't have the dash in the middle of egg, does it? I don't know. Even if it does, oh well. In this game, name is useless. Gender, just like in real life, is useless. Although it does change what the armor looks like to some extent. Like, male has a double covered shoulder. Face, hair, colors, all useless. Jubilant Katarina is a meme, people like making fun of it. Hair color, all useless. If the game's going to be super loud, I will turn the capture card down. Physique is useless. Class is basically your starting stats. Knight, if you want to start with heavy armor, if you're afraid of not being able to dodge, or you never want to dodge because you think you're bad at it, this is the class. Warrior's a nice solid base. I like them, they're my favorite class. Wanderer focuses on, looks like dexterity and health. Oh no, dexterity with a bit of intelligence. Or high dexterity. Thief has even higher dexterity, but is more fragile and has weaker armor. High crit hits doesn't mean shit, because that's not a thing. It just means their weapon has bleed, which I'll get into later. Bandit, high strength. Hunter, you start with a bow. Sorcerer, you start with sorceries, which is what the intelligence stat is for. Pyromancer, you start with pyromancies. Cleric, you start with miracles. These basically are just equivalents of each other. Depraved or depraved is 11s across the board. Actually, is that much worse than this one? But you start at level 6, which is higher. Gift. Goddess Blessing, you get a vial of holy water, which is a full heal. Not needed. Black Fire Bombs, they just deal damage. They're whatever. Twin Humanities is a resource that's kind of scarce to get. So it starts you off with one of those. Binoculars, they let you zoom into things. Don't get any of these because you get all of the stuff pretty early. Pendant is worthless. It does absolutely nothing. Master Key, the meme key, everybody loves. Everybody loves the Master Key. Everybody, because it lets you skip an annoying area. Tiny Being's Ring grants you a little bit of extra HP. Old Witch's Ring. is very useful. Well, not really. It's lore stuff. Do I want Master Key or do I want Old Witch's Ring? For the sake of it, I'm gonna go with Old Witch's Ring. Because you can get all... I don't think you can get Pendant, but you can get all the stuff in base game. However, once you progress far enough, you don't get some of the dialogue that the Old Witch's Ring grants. So, anyway, in the Lobos Jr. Style of gameplay, it is customary. Hormones, let's go feminine. You do have a character creator here. Apparently women are fatter and more white according to this game. Features, let's go strong features. And then go to town. Yeah, that's pretty bad. that's pretty bad, and that's just what the character that's just what the character looks like. You're one ugly bitch. Oh my god. Okay. Except. Also, there's a thing that people think you need this thing for because it lets you skip a certain area in order to get to an area you need to get to, instead of having to go to another annoying area. If you know how, you don't need this. Or the Master Key. Because the Master Key is what everyone gets. It opens a couple doors preventing you from having to find the keys. Anyway. Ooh, my leg hurts.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed.
Also, I'm going to say right now, until you see my model pop back up, I'll wait a few seconds afterwards so I don't audio jump scare you, but until you see her reappear, you can turn the audio to a safe degree if you want.
But then there was fire. And with fire came disparity. Heat and cold. Life and death. And of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone spears. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Okay. The basic stuff. Left stick moves around. No tutorial for it, sadly. Bottom button, on Xbox it's A, here it's B. You pick up items. Items are automatically used if they're needed in a specific spot. So keys and stuff like that are used on the respective doors. You do not, however, lose the key. A mysterious knight, without saying a word, shoved a corpse down into the cell and on this person was this key. Who was this knight, and what was his purpose? There may be no answers, but one must still forge ahead. Dark Souls is known for a lot of lore, so read as many items as you feel like you can. Usually unique items, though. Right stick is camera controls. Oh, number on the bottom right. I'll get to that in a minute. Attack R. So, as I said, right bumper is attack. And upon killing something, you get some numbers at the bottom of the screen. ZR is strong attack. Those numbers at the bottom right that I am covering, and I don't know how other VTubers move the numbers to a different spot. I will have to learn that eventually. Those are called your souls, and your souls will play a very important function later. But you get them for killing things. What is this? Oh, left stick plus hold A to dash. So you hold down A, and he'll dash. You don't have to just hold A and then start to move the stick. No, it's as you're moving the stick, you can hold B and they'll run. I don't think the game ever details it, but just tapping B does a little back step. And tapping B while moving does a roll. Clicking in ZR locks on, your movement becomes very linear in the 4 directions. You no longer have full rotational, you just have lock on. There's some bosses lock on is good for, there's some bosses lock on is bad for. Maybe I should turn the brightness up on this game just a wee... No, this game's... Yeah, I'll turn it up just a wee bit, because this game is slightly dark. It's God's name for a reason, eh? I just don't want to turn it too bright. I don't want to, like, whitewash the game. Come on. Yeah, 1 should be good. No, actually, no, 1 looks a little too bright. It starts at -11 for some reason. Put it at -5. Nope, -2 it is, because I can't input a number. I have to fight a slider. Good crap. Rest at bonfire to recover HP. HP that I haven't lost. HP that I'm going to lose by jumping down here. Health bar on the top left is red. There's the red bar. Your current health is red. When you take damage, a section will turn yellow. And then glow. Like, it'll glow when you take damage, and then that health bar part will go away. A bonfire is a very special thing. There's 3 things with bonfires. Or 3... Well, there's actually a lot more, but 3 right now that I'll detail. Sitting down will restore your health up in the top left. Blanket the screen in that fog, which is not actually an important thing. But, actually it kind of is, because it details this. He's back. And not just is he back, these ones down here are as well. Sitting in a bonfire restores every enemy you have killed. It's more important to know later, but for the time being, that is what bonfires do. They heal you, but at the cost of healing the enemies. Ooh, that's a big boy. Hit him! Come on! Come on, you son of a gun! I'll give you a dinner date with God! Come on! I'll show you! You can't stop me! You can't stop me! It stopped me. So dying is the core gameplay mechanic of this game. When you die, couple things. You get sent back to the last bonfire you sat at. And if you look on the bottom right, that 40 I had is gone. Not only is it gone, it's right there. When you die, you drop a pile of souls, they're called. I'll detail this in a second. take my armor off to make it easier for me to be killed. Come on. Also, the boss has his health back. Bosses don't keep HP. I probably should have died a third time just to show off that if I were to have interacted with that pile of green, I would have got my souls back. I would have gotten that 40 back. Probably should have showed that off. However, because I died while I still had a pile of souls on the ground, my pile is moved. It's no longer in the same location. And if I interact with it, I get my souls in the bottom right back, which I do not have any of at the moment. Those green piles are your recovery spots. They are how you get your souls back. Oh, should probably get your shield. So, now he's running. I guess I don't need to do it right this second then. So, push pause. Note, you are not actually paused when you pause. So if I come up here, the enemy will still hit me. They can still kill me. They will still move and they will still think. Bosses will still play. Pausing does not pause. Menu or options in the top right. The book is options. Don't mess with options while playing because the Switch version hates it. Stats are your stats. I'll detail those later. The bag is all of your inventory. Black crystals long a symbol of farewell is granted to banished undead. The crystal sends phantoms back to their homes or sends you back to yours. Beware of fickle use of this item if you intend to nurture relations. And Dark Sign signifies an accursed undead. Those branded with it are reborn after death, but will one day lose their mind and go hollow. Oh, what the hell? You can come down here? Well, let's hit him, and I ain't doing a lot of damage. I didn't know you can come down here. That's cool. Well, in the sword and shield icon, this is your stuff. Down here is armor, rings, bolts, arrows, items. We'll detail all that later. Right hand is your RB. Left hand is your shields. Not always. You can equip anything in any arm. It's not specific to arms. But you can have two on each hand. So right now I have broken sword on, I push right and I have broken sword in the bottom left. I get the moveset of broken sword. Push it again. I equip the long sword, which has a different moveset. You can equip weapons. Same with shields. Pushing RB does a light attack with a weapon. RT does a heavy attack. Heavy attacks do usually have follow-ups. Holding LB holds your shield up. If you look at the green bar up in the top left, that is called stamina. That is needed for a lot of stuff. Having your shield up slows down its regeneration. Doing actions like attacking, empty it. Right now I'm holding RB, or tapping RB. I can only attack once that bar is full, or it has some in it, which causes me to attack quite a bit slower. Rolling also lowers that. I'm gonna take... Do I have to take just those off? No. I can have those on. How about the armor? There we go. So I can't really show off the last one, but in this game you have different rolls that come with slightly different iframes. This is a fast roll, and this is what you will see me using for most of the game. You have the highest distance and iframes for it. What was that? Backstep and roll? Yeah. Yeah, nice little lump at the... Oh god, it's a boulder.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Hmm? Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you? Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen. In thine exodus from the Undead Asylum, maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
Yes, this flask, for the most part, is your only way to recover health.
Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
I like the 20 souls I have on the bottom right. Oh, new stuff here. Rest the bonfire to replenish Estus. Use item. So my health up in the top left. And the number in the bottom left is how many uses I get of it. He died. Which I do find kind of... I kind of find it odd because when he dies there, he does actively die. Like, it just... his model basically jumps up. Also, the thing with bonfires is the bonfire you respawn at is the last one you sat at. I'm also, for the sake of it, gonna show off getting killed again. I guess while he's killing me, I can add some text. This probably looks pretty bad on the recording. Okay, because it's customaries of a Souls game, I have a death counter at the bottom left now. Also, I get to show this off. My pile of souls right here. So, bottom right, I got my 120 back. However, again, if I were to have died if that pile was on the ground, I wouldn't have gotten it. Armor. I took the armor off to get a faster roll. Rolls are weird in this game. Because if I take all my armor off... take his jumping hit... he knocked me down to 469. That's quite a bit of damage. But if I sit back at the bonfire... and pray he does that stupid jumping attack again... which he might not do, because enemies have RNG to them. Wrong. Wrong again. Wrong again. Jump. Come on. Whatever, you get the point. It would have done less damage. The thing I did with the shield, where I knocked his sword away, I will get to in a second. Wield the weapon in 2 hands. I guess I'll detail that now. RB, 2 of them. RT, 2 of them. If I were to push RT again, after 2, the combo resets. RB, the combo just keeps going. RT, or not RT, sorry, pushing the top button, X or Y or whatever, 2 hands the weapon. You don't get the shield, so if I were to upset this guy, if you look at my health up in the top left, if I block attacks, I'm still taking damage, as opposed to having the shield. However, your attacks are different. So it is a valuable part of your moveset to be two-handing weapon. This thing that I did to the other enemy is called a parry. Some shields can do it, and you basically just parry the second an enemy starts to hit you. Basically, as soon as their sword gets into your hitbox. Failing to do so, on the other hand, will just have you take reduced damage. What this does is if you parry an enemy and they push RB, you do a super attack, which is called a riposte. Riposte does a lot of, or does, I don't think it does double damage, because that did, what, 170 versus 44? So it does quite a bit more damage. Or what you can do... Oh, don't run in there. Oh, you get the die. So this isn't exactly going to be the same sort of number statistic, but you can go to the back of an enemy and push RB to do a backstab, which does considerably less damage. That did, what, 100, and I got 80 souls for it? And yeah, I don't mind prolonging a lot of this stuff. Also, you can die of fall damage. So yeah, I did, what, 100 to him in a backstab? Oh, yeah, I did, what, 170 to him the first time. Or to one of them the first time, because it's the same enemy. Having this guy walk up to me. And then... Come on. Backstabbing him will do considerably less damage. Still a lot. Still a lot of damage, 100, or 173, or, 145. It's, I believe the front stab does 50% more damage in a weird calculation above base or whatnot. It's weird. But it is usually worth doing it, but the risk is you have to risk taking damage. Anyway, traverse the white fog. You can look down... I think you can look down one of these windows and you can see the boss. But there's the boss. He will jump up and knock you down if you sit up there for too long. Ball and push RB and you will do a plunging attack into his head and take more damage to him. But now, I'm doing considerably more damage. The reason I mentioned, by the way, earlier, rolling. If an enemy goes to hit you, you can roll out of the attack. You can roll through the attack, rather, to take no damage. However, you have to know the timings. Also, getting hit does, or getting knocked down does usually grant you some iframes. There's no limitation to your rolling if you're one-handing or two-handing. The only limitation is your weight load. You can roll with a shield, you can roll after an attack. This game is weird, and I've seen a lot of... He gives 2,000 souls, by the way. I've seen a lot of VTubers whine about it and cry about it, basically. This game has action queuing. So if I push RB and then mash rolling, they won't roll until the attack is done. So you need to be pretty careful with rolling. And make sure rolling is an action. It's not a reaction that the player can do. It's an action. You actively do it. So you need to be careful with your action queuing. Good job. Go straight ahead. Little bit of a tutorial on exploration. You can explore and get stuff. There's another thing on this side that you can explore. But that is not useful. That comes in use later. Old Witch's Ring. Engraved minutely with indecipherable script, but seemingly useless. Estus. The Estus flasks are linked to the Firekeepers. The Dark Tales also make reference. Fills with Estus at bonfire, fills HP. An emerald flask from the Keeper's soul. She lives to protect the flame, and dies to protect it further. Solved Lost Undead. Useless. Humanity, the description is just it. Keys usually have some good descriptors to them. The Undead Asylum is a giant undead prison segmented by countless iron bars. Even if the undead were to escape from a cell, passage to the outside world would not be gained easily. But this chosen undead knows not where this pilgrimage has in store. Anything else? That soul item, what it does, Soul of Lost Undead, is you can eat it. And it grants you souls in the bottom right. Those souls are best not to be used the second you get them. They're nice for a case of like, oh, I'm only 500 souls off of a level. Well, let's eat 3 200s. Right? Stuff like that.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the Undead Asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Oh, good, I was muted. Next time I'm going to detail more stuff, but I'm going to end this recording here. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.